In September 2024, we released our video, The Perfect English Rose Garden. We shared the exciting news that a little visited but very beautiful area of the gardens at Wentworth Woodhouse is about to be restored and will reopen as a new sensory garden.
The project has been made possible by a very generous private donation and an exciting partnership with David Austin Roses. Together, these arrangements will allow us to restore and replant what historically has been known as the mulberry garden, although there's no actual evidence to suggest that mulberry bushes were ever planted here.
Despite some earlier repair work to the circular back wall, much of the garden was in a sorry state, but restoration work is now underway. The dilapidated gazebo has been removed, along with the old iron railings which once flanked the entrance. The railings are being assessed and will be restored or replaced depending on the level of rust and corrosion. The low brick wall topped with coping stones had crumbled and split due to weather damage and lack of maintenance. It's now being rebuilt by Ian, a brick and stonework specialist with heritage masonry contracts, assisted by Sam, their second-year apprentice. Traditional lime mortar is used to rebuild the wall, using the original bricks and additional salvage stones to replace those too damaged to work with. Once restored, the cast iron railings will be embedded back in the coping stones. The seriously damaged statue in the central fountain, which we believe could be Venus, is now in London for further identification and assessment. The old pottery edging which bordered the flower beds was badly damaged and has been removed for use elsewhere. And the newly laid metal edging now provides crisp lines that flow beautifully around the garden. A few years ago, we laid new gravel on the paths inside the garden, and the renovation project will allow us to refresh these. The fire chip gravel will match the paths in the rest of the gardens here at Wentworth Woodhouse, making the new sensory garden easily accessible for buggies and wheelchair users. Most recently, however, the gateway adjacent to the garden was found to be dangerously unsafe. Short-term hoist support is now in place, but more major structural repair work will now be needed.
We're really grateful for the incredible generosity of our private donor in addressing the urgent restoration of the garden here and giving us the opportunity to provide safe space for visitors to enjoy these beautiful and peaceful surroundings. But beyond the structural work, the donation is also supporting a dynamic partnership with the world-famous family firm David Austin Roses, based at Old Brighton in Shropshire, about 2 hours drive away.
David Austin Sr. had a deep love of roses, particularly the old-fashioned scented varieties, and in 1961 he started breeding what has become the iconic brand of English roses. Unlike many of the original old-fashioned varieties, English roses are repeat flowering and have a wonderful range of colours. The David Austin breeding programme aims to develop the healthiest roses without compromising their beauty, fragrance, grace, and most importantly their charm, and we're delighted that they will feature in the new sensory garden.
Following an initial consultation visit, which we covered in our earlier film, Richard and Liam from David Austin Roses have created a design plan for the garden. There will be a mix of shrub roses and climbing roses using these obelisks within the area of the walled garden, with rambling roses growing up the outer walls, which will in time cascade over and trail into the gardens themselves.
Over 150 individual roses will fill the sensory garden. A mix of colours and styles have been chosen, with the collection including the English roses pictured here. They will arrive as bare root specimens in late November, and we'll bring you another update video to show the roses as they are planted in the garden.
We'll keep you up to date with the news about our sensory garden in future updates, so make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a new video release. Wentworth Woodhouse Preservation Trust is a registered charity. If you'd like to support the work we do, whether that's our programme of restoration, training, job creation, community and education services, or even helping us to make these videos, please donate and give what you can using the link below. Every pound we receive does make a real difference, and you'll be actively helping us to change lives and support communities. And we really are changing lives here in South Yorkshire. Thank you.